On 3, 2, 1. You're probably wondering why we were trying to knock Jason's toenail off with a rock. The question for you is, what is the most useless part of the human body? Answer in the comments.
We'll wait.
Yeah. Well, wait. I was going to nail it, but I'm not feel comfortable. Do it
take
again.
a couple shots.
Doesn't matter. This is ad lib.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. So you're probably wondering how all three of us got together, and it just happened to be that none of us knew we were going to the event, but we all ended up at the same event together. Now, last night, guys, I was sitting here by myself, and I started thinking about the rules of this primitive campground. Number one, we don't have any water. No. All right, we have no stream.
No
creeks. We have
creeks.
no ponds, no lakes. There's no water here, so you have to bring all your own water. Number two, if I want to go to the bathroom, I've got to go to a porta potty, right?
Nailed it.
Number three, I can't shoot anything,
Well,
right?
yeah.
And number four, if I want a fire, I have to buy $10 bundles.
Right.
I brought my own.
Yeah, you brought your own?
Brought my own
You breaking the
camp wood.
rules of the campground?
I'm just telling you.
I'm giving you some free
Yeah.
dopamine hit.
They're not going to tell.
They're not going to know, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell Casey
I mean,
Denny
at
to
the end
do
of the
the bushcraft.
That we
the end
brought
of
our
the day,
own
Brought our
firewood.
own firewood.
At the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself. You know?
But that got me thinking about hygiene, because we're going to be here for 4 days and 3 nights at demo days. And so I got
So
to
the true
thinking,
reason why you got to thinking about this, because you smell me,
You
right?
smelled, you smelled
all
yourself.
of us smell each other.
Most likely.
Right? I knew this point was going to happen, and that got me thinking about hygiene. So I want to talk about the 10 most undervalued hygiene items of the apocalypse. And I want to start off talking about nails, because I would think what we just did at the beginning of this video, I would much rather have a pair of nail clippers than to have somebody smash my toenail off so I could rip it off.
Just rip off the toenail.
That sounds like torture to me.
That's pretty bad. You know the most
What do you
infuriating thing ever is smacking your little toe and to the point where
Oh
your
my
toenail
gosh.
falls off. It's like
Yeah.
the most infuriating thing. Like you want to.
I don't think my pinky toe has a bone anymore.
It's
No.
been broken so many
Yeah,
times.
Right.
it's like a cashew that like it's just flexible.
And it could be a combo. You step on the G.I. Joe figure
Oh,
or the
God.
little army guy or a
Yeah.
Lego, and then you smash your toe into
Why do we
something
even
else.
have toenails?
Then you
Right.
got right. Why do we have toenails?
Which
That's
goes
the
back
whole
to our
point.
original question.
Right, for fighting. Ah!
The most useless part of the human body.
So for me,
I mean,
that's
is it like traction when you like
No.
like cleats, like
You
when you're
think-
running?
No.
Like,
Have you ever dug your toenails into the dirt to get more traction?
no.
no.
No. Like, what do you do with a toenail?
They're totally pointless.
useless.
But the thing is, we have them, and this is so small, and they usually come with a file. I mean, if you read about how they used to do it back in the old days, they would use rocks to file down their toes, or somebody else would bite your toenail off for you.
Right.
Could you imagine that happening?
That's friendship.
Come on, Jason.
That's friendship.
Come on.
I'd do that
Come
for
on,
you.
bud. Yeah? Come on, man.
I ain't doing it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying, for me, this is the #1 most undervalued tool of the apocalypse.
The nail clippers.
Yeah, because
Wow.
what else could you do?
Yeah, if you're
Use your
flexible
knife?
enough, if you're flexible enough, you could bite your own.
Yeah, but us older guys, something's wrong inside of here. When we bend over, like something cuts off the oxygen and you can't
stop
breathe
breathing.
anymore.
Yeah, I was just tying my shoe.
Now you're trying to do your toenails and you pass out.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going out that way.
I wonder something. I've never tried this.
What are you gonna do?
Will it strike a ferro rod?
Anything with a Rockwell over 7.
Probably.
Let's see.
Let's see if it happens. Dual purpose.
Dual purpose.
I need some ammo while we're ad-libbing.
Seems
here.
to have.
You got any ammo in your pocket?
Nope.
Oh
Not
no!
great.
Oh!
Oh!
I'll do it.
Multi-purpose tool. We have
The
proven
nail
it
clippers.
right
Yeah,
here.
a little bit of spark come off of there.
There we go. All right, so where do we head from here, boys? Because we're doing top 10, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of thinking back to the old days, like Kephart, Sears. What would those guys do? Every single one of them, one of the most important ones was soap to them.
So, does
Imagine
it have to
that.
be on a rope?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Soap on a rope, yeah. Matter of fact, they said that the soap should be in a waterproof container that it should be secured with a rubber band, and that it should also have a small cloth to go around it as well.
A washcloth?
A washcloth.
Right. I was going to say a washcloth would be pretty handy. You know, a designated thing that you can wash yourself with, even without soap. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, can we agree on that? Like soap and a small washcloth? Because you
yeah.
can make soap.
And
Their whole argument was that you should have the supply when you go out, and you should be able to replenish it on your own in the woods.
Yeah.
So what else could you use this for? Doing old Craig thing here.
If you were female, that might be useful.
Yeah.
If you identified as a female.
And before, you could use it for a lot of things. Before you use it to wash your body, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after,
But you could always wash
you
it
could
and
clean
reuse it, right?
This is true.
You
make
could find
cordage out of
yucca,
it.
cordage.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pot
You could
grabber.
use it for a barrier device, like if you were splitting somebody's arm or something, their wrist, an
touching
ankle.
stuff that's hot.
For sure.
If it was cotton, you could use it for tinder.
Yep.
What other stuff could we use it for?
Yeah. Obviously,
I
some
think
bandages is a
we
good one.
all agree that a small cotton towel has many uses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and like a bandana would serve similar purpose, but it's not as absorbent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Not like a dedicated.
yeah, right.
A shemagh might be a little bit better.
A little better because it's more absorbent material.
Right.
Did you-
right.
Did I what?
Did you
Never
clean your
mind.
It's
nether regions
possible.
with that?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't when I was taking care of you last night? Okay. All right. So
Right there.
the next thing they said was a toothbrush, but they did not include the toothpaste.
Right.
So the toothpaste is gone.
No more toothpaste.
Toothbrush.
I got fluoride in it anyway.
So the thing is, like, I can recreate this in nature.
Is that a
Using
bushcraft
willow.
toothbrush?
It is, isn't it? Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
You can make a toothbrush out of willow, out of sweet gum, whatever you have available. You chew on the stick, right? Depending on the properties of the wood that you're carving up. Now
there's
you've got the
fibers.
bristles. Make a
it
toothpick
up.
on the other side,
Yeah.
right? But
Charcoal toothpaste.
making charcoal toothpaste,
That's a thing.
I think that would be the way to go.
That works good.
Yeah, you don't need the toothpaste. But you can also use this for cleaning other things. Weapons, if you had to.
Toenail.
Toenails. Johnny's mouth out with soap for getting in too much trouble. So I'm gonna say maybe a toothbrush
Okay.
could go on the list.
Shave that down and get tinder. Start a fire if you had to.
Yeah. So would you rather have a plastic toothbrush or a wood toothbrush?
That is. I would think wood.
I don't know. Plastic's probably less.
Like the big lighter trick where you're shaving the
Yeah,
plastic.
you could
Yeah.
use it for other purposes, but
You can make a prison shiv out of a
You can make a
plastic
fat
one.
lighter
And-
toothbrush.
and
Oh,
a plastic
now we're talking.
toothbrush might be a little bit more
Yeah, that's good.
hygienic.
Free dopamine
hygienic.
hit,
Is that
yeah.
a word? Hygienic.
Hygienic?
Plastic toothbrush. Doesn't absorb so much stuff into the wood pores.
nasties?
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you're onto it right there.
Okay.
I like that. Okay, so we're on to toothbrush.
Yeah.
Okay, something else that's really important. No, you cannot get one of these Wazoo compacts because they do not
Exist.
exist. These are stickers that went onto a compact from Wazoo Gear. The important thing to remember though is that you have one 0 power lens and then you have a 10 power lens.
Really look up in that nose hole.
Right.
Way up in there.
When you're cutting your nose hairs, I think medically speaking, if you had an injury and you were by yourself and one of your friends or loved ones wasn't around,
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
ability,
Like in your eye.
your
Get
eye,
something stuck
especially
there.
in your eye,
Yeah.
Especially
or
in your eye.
signaling for rescue.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's really hard to produce a mirror.
Yeah, how
In
can
nature.
you make a mirror
Out of
in
natural
nature?
materials.
I mean, how did they do it? With silica and heat, or I don't even know how they polished it out.
Sorcery.
Sorcery,
Yeah.
bronze,
Aliens.
maybe.
Yeah.
They make it
Well,
of
still, yeah.
bronze.
Early metallurgy, probably. Yeah.
Metallurgy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say compact mirror. Like, do we agree with that one?
That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty handy thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out.
I'm just curious what you're pulling.
What
out
else
here.
you got in there?
Okay. So
What do we think about a good? This is a German pair of scissors. These are very nice. You know, because like you were saying, You got to get up there and get those nose
get up
hairs.
in there.
Right. Got to reach up in
Trimming your beard,
Right.
haircuts,
Yep.
cutting, using them for trauma shears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's hundreds of uses for scissors.
Yeah,
but
well, I would say while we're on this subject, though, like I could probably do, I mean, aside from the file, but I could cut my nails, trim my nails with that.
with the scissors
with the
instead
scissors,
of the
and
nails,
then not need a nail clipper. You know what I mean?
you could.
Yeah, I'm just
with
saying.
a good pair of scissors.
With a good pair of scissors, like
Yeah.
the Swiss Army knife scissors.
Okay.
You can trim your toenails with those all day.
Okay. Well, at the end
Yeah.
of this, we'll have 10 things on the table.
Okay.
Is what we'll have.
This would be really good for cleaning small birds. Cut
Yeah.
through the
Yeah.
breastplate,
You could do
trimming
that.
the wings off.
Sure.
I don't ever hear anybody talk about scissors much in survival, other than trauma shears.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, and most decent multi-tools have a scissor of some sort that I think gets overlooked. I think scissors overall just get overlooked.
Yeah.
But it's still the scissors that are on a multi-tool and not a dedicated
Not a dedicated.
And the Leatherman scissors are not great.
tool. Right.
Swiss Army knife scissors are better.
Yeah.
Not all scissors are created equal, just
No.
like everything else.
I mean, how are we
Yeah.
going to recreate that in nature?
You won't.
I don't think we will. We're not good enough to do that, I don't think. Yeah, so we in agreement on that? Maybe scissors, and maybe the nail clippers become iffy?
Yeah, not as necessary.
Not as necessary, yeah, because I could always cut my nails with my knife.
Right.
I mean, I do that sometimes anyway, just take a little sliver
Absolutely.
off,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And using the tip of my knife to clean the nails
Yep.
sometimes. So I wouldn't say that
Agreed.
that's 100% necessary.
And this would be more versatile than that in case you're trying to like get a splinter out or like pick
Yep.
something out,
pick
yeah.
something out of
Yeah.
Tick head or something,
Yeah.
or a
Yep.
thorn,
Yeah, you're not. You want
a
to have
sliver
trouble
that
doing
went
it
into
with
your
this.
hand,
Yeah.
trying to prevent infection. Plus, yeah, you could heat this up, use alcohol on it, whatever the case may be, to disinfect it,
Sure.
to use it. Okay, so I'm going to say that's iffy.
Yeah.
Okay, so since we're talking about cutting tools, what about just a good old-fashioned
Razor.
straight razor?
Oh man,
There's
I'd cut myself
so
for
many
sure
uses
trying to
with
shave
them,
with. I've
though.
never shaved with one of those. Does that
I
make me
haven't.
less of a man? I'm not sure.
I don't shave.
Yeah, that's true. I don't shave. Actually, that's a good point. I haven't shaved my face in a long time.
Yeah.
So,
But what
I
about
wouldn't know.
medically speaking? Because I use razors all the time
Yeah.
when I'm treating patients in the field,
Yeah.
right? So instead of having all these disposable razors, I used to just take this one with me, and then I could shave them in the field, and I could resharpen it up, disinfect it, and it was ready to go
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Not to mention, let's say, I mean, none of us are doctors, right? But let's say that
Not
we
a
had to
doctor.
perform some type of surgery, and we had a doctor in the camp that didn't have their medical tools or supplies, the old bag that we see in
Right.
all the movies,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
think it would be useful for a doctor?
I'm
Scalpel.
sure a doctor will come up with a use for that for sure.
A doctor, someone who was trained, maybe even a combat medic,
Absolutely.
For sure.
right?
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. So, where are we at so far? We've got, are we counting this as one?
Soap and so
That's
while-
kind of two, right?
That's two.
on this subject though, like when I'm out and about for longer periods of time and I don't have access to water and proper washing hygiene type materials, like wet wipes is my go-to.
yeah.
Like that's just a pack of wet wipes.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that solves.
Gotta
there's-
have 'em.
There's plenty of different,
Yeah.
different products out there, and some that are specific to the
Yeah, and you
outdoors.
get grungy and you get nasty and you start to stink and stuff like that. You feel like $1 million after just taking a
Take
wet
the
wipe
old
bath.
Book
Yeah.
of Eli bath.
Yeah.
I did it
Right.
this morning.
Yeah. Wet wipe bath saves the day, and then to avoid like infections and all that kind of stuff, you start to get some chafage going on from having to walk long distances. If you start to get bacteria build up, that's when nasty stuff.
Chafing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something that the old guys used to talk about.
It's called Famunda cheese.
Famunda
Munda
cheese.
cheese.
Now, here's one that I do not know. I have to say, I have absolutely no idea how to make something like talcum powder.
Useful outside of what
You'd
it's
have
already
to,
useful
you'd have
for.
to mine it.
I mean, could you like grind up, I don't know, acorn shells or something? Make some
You
kind
have
of
to have a
fine
serious
dust?
meal to make that.
It's
I
got to
don't
be
think so.
antiseptic. So what about white oak?
I don't know how you.
I've
make
never
that.
looked into it. I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah.
If you have the answer, please
a
post
natural
in the comments.
substitute
A natural
for foot powder
substitute.
kind of thing. Yeah.
It would have to have antiseptic, antifungal,
Mm-hmm.
antibacterial properties
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of menthol in it. So if you could find mint, and if you could get it to that state eventually. I wouldn't know how
I
to
don't
do
know.
that.
What about dried usnea?
Usnea,
It'd take
Is
an
that
awful lot.
antifungal?
yeah, has those properties.
Antiviral.
I think that's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal.
Pine is
Yeah.
I
as
could be
well.
wrong, but I believe it
No,
is.
you're right. You're absolutely correct. I was thinking too with white oak bark, you can get those same properties too.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Let us know in the comment section. We're always trying to learn something,
Right.
right, fellas? So, are we putting that in the list?
Well, what's the uses outside of, keeping you dry in your nether regions, right?
Well,
your feet and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, you know what my first rule is: don't get monkey butt.
don't get monkey butt.
If you
Step
can't
one.
save your own ass, you can't save somebody else's.
Yeah,
Right?
but good wind checker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
That's
lot
true.
of hunters use it for that.
Good point.
Yeah, shooters.
That will save you from getting blisters and stuff on your feet and
Oh, yeah.
heels and all that stuff. Yeah.
In place of soap sometimes if you didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's medicated.
It's triple action.
Maybe that's something that we should look into. Yeah, I think so. All right, so where are we at? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, we got some more stuff to go. We're going to have to eliminate some things.
I see a good one in there too.
Okay, go ahead, grab it.
Dental floss.
Dental floss. I know there's so many uses for this. I mean, I could sew somebody up if I had to with that.
Yeah.
It cannot be, it has to be just the regular old-fashioned dental
Yeah.
floss. Do not use the mint stuff
Yeah.
if you're going to sew somebody up.
Good point.
But other than that, I mean, how many times have you gotten a piece of chicken or meat or something in your
Yeah. It
teeth?
starts to irritate your gums.
And now
yeah.
you're carving a toothpick that didn't quite work out the way you
And
wanted
then you
it
get
to.
the stick stuck in your teeth too. Yeah. That's a thing.
That can
Then
be
you get
bad.
another stick to get that stick
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Now you got two
Then you
sticks
got a
stuck in your mouth.
splinter, an abscess.
It's a thing.
Hygiene's tough, man.
Man, that's a bad one. I don't know. Like, does dental floss count as? There's no other way to recreate it unless you take fabric, threads from fabric,
Or use another type of like fishing line.
fishing
something
line.
Like
you
that.
could use that for fishing
You could,
line.
yeah.
I mean, it's cordage.
It's cordage,
Right.
You can
Right,
use
right.
it to bind things together.
Yep.
You can fish. You can.
Now, here's another one though, because all those older guys, they talked about having some kind of comb.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, if you get lice,
Yeah.
I
haven't-
think it makes you feel human.
I haven't.
They
used a
talked
comb.
about that, having something that brings you back
Morale.
to home, like a
Wow.
morale booster.
Yeah. I've
Now-
heard guys talk about that, like after getting a clean shave in the field, they
Yeah.
feel like
They
feel
feel
human
alive again.
Yeah, feel like a
Yeah.
human again. I don't know. I don't have as beautiful of a beard as you guys, so I have no need of brushing it.
But in the apocalypse, you would.
Well, that's true. After the apocalypse, yeah, maybe my beard would be more.
Yeah, at that time yours would be awesome and ours would be like absolutely hideous.
Crap. Like Bob Ross beard.
Yeah, like
On the
Nice.
other
dragging
side,
the ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could use this for fluffing up tender sources as well.
Perhaps.
I can't find as many uses for the comb though. We could make a comb,
Oh yeah, you could totally make a comb.
but I mean, how many of us have done it?
I have not.
I have not made a comb. I hadn't had a purpose.
I did
to.
once, and it did not turn out like that one that was cut.
I haven't felt the need to have a comb in my kit ever, regardless of the length of stay.
Yeah, what else would I use that for?
Right.
You could use it as the worm collar. Like
Oh yes,
you
the
stick
worm
it here.
drug. The worm
Yeah,
drug.
you do the thing, you know. Yeah.
You could make that.
Yeah, I guess you could. I don't know if it's a valid argument or not.
I wonder if it would call different types of worms.
I don't know.
I think we need to move on, fellas. All right, so
Clearly, there's not.
I'm gonna say this has to be on the table. It's a magnifier,
Ah, yes.
right? Because if you get cut, like yesterday in our challenge,
Ooh, that looks
look at
way
all those
worse through
chisel
there.
cuts. Yeah, that was a lot.
You should probably get that
I know
checked.
should
the
probably get that
audience
checked
can't
out.
see it,
Yeah,
but
little gangrene.
yeah, we were doing some demos yesterday, and I was using a knife that we've never used before, something new on the market, and one of the what would you call that? Cons of the blade was that when you went to go strike a ferro rod, you got hit, it touched your hand on the design of the ferro rod, how it was on the sheath.
Got it.
You know, so every time I would strike that ferro
Was it
rod,
the jimping that was getting you?
No, it was the.
It was the
It had a
backside of
chisel
that
end
blade,
at the
yeah.
very end.
That's
Oh,
right. That's
really?
right. That's right.
of
That's
it,
right.
yeah. And so that was great.
I was
But
using that other one.
the ability to look at something, and there's a lot of people that have glasses. What if you broke your glasses?
True.
You didn't have your contacts.
Yeah.
Right? And in the apocalypse, you're going to age.
Walk around like that.
Yeah, you got your
Monocle.
monocle.
Do not pass go.
What did my eye
Oh,
look
like the Monopoly guy from the first simulation.
Yeah.
Do not collect $100.
Go to jail.
Wow, that throws your freaking vision off for a second. Yeah.
Okay, so we're thinking the comb definitely comes off the table.
Yeah.
Okay, deodorant is definitely not something that we can put on the table. I don't think
It's only
that
for
counts.
civilized societies.
Civilized folk.
Yeah.
This is gonna run out,
Right.
right?
You don't need that. You don't need that.
I don't think that that's valid.
No, I ain't
I think
got
it needs to stay off. So here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got to take one thing off of the table.
Are we thinking? So my thinking is short term. I like these.
Yes.
Long term, like you're gonna want me out.
You're
in
going to
front.
run through that.
You're gonna run out of those,
Yes.
and this is gonna be much
Yeah.
more helpful. So I say like one of these two things is what I would want. Long term, I want that. Short term, I want that.
Well, the thing is, okay, because what their argument was that once you exhaust the resource that you brought with you, you need to be able to recreate it in nature. I am not good enough to weave
No,
any kind of
not gonna make
fabric,
a
other baskets or whatever, but I ain't wiping myself with that.
Yeah, so I'd say drop that because that's a consumable you're going to get
Right.
rid of anyway over time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that gets us
And
down
you're
to
going
10.
to be without it and you can't recreate it. Where if you take care of this, it'll.
Right.
Now, we
Last
can
you
think about
longer.
this. We don't have to have this. And is it 10? Do we know for sure? 1,
No.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10. So this is our 10 right here. Can we think of anything else that would go for hygiene that's not in this indigent kit that we have right here?
Like a more petroleum-based thing, like a chapstick. or
Vaseline. They always have
Vaseline.
Vaseline, yeah.
Vaseline? You say that funny.
That's how they said it.
He says Vaseline funny.
I say Vaseline now.
Vaseline.
But they said Vaseline.
So why didn't
They're
you say
wrong.
Vaseline instead
Because
of Vaseline?
Vaseline is the brand name.
Oh,
of Vaseline
Vaseline is the product that
Correct.
Vaseline makes.
is, yep.
I have been lied to my entire life.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I like that idea. I wouldn't know how to make it.
Yeah, it's like Band-Aid.
It'd be
and
like
Band-Aid,
tallow. It would be like the
Kleenex.
natural
Yeah.
way of
Q-tip.
replacing that.
Q-tip. Ooh,
Yeah.
we're probably gonna get sued now.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Women products, we're about to get slammed.
I don't
we
know
don't-
anything about women's
Not
butts.
an expert.
No. No comment.
I actually don't want to talk about it.
If you are a lady and you're watching this, perhaps you should educate us in the comment section.
Yes.
With all due respect.
I don't want to be. I don't want to know.
I won't read them, but if you wanted for the other girls, that'd be fine.
To
Yeah.
read the comments.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is what it is. So we've got a small cotton cloth. We've got our bar soap. We could make that out of yucca. We could do the animal fat thing. There's lots of ways to make soap.
I'm still on the fence about that dude, man.
I know, now I'm struggling a little bit.
Because I feel like this
Serves that purpose.
can do what this does.
Yes.
But that's the multi-tool
But that
of the
can't
two.
do what that does.
That, and, I mean, this has got the file. So there's that. Is the file
Yeah, but
more
you could
important
still-
than the clip?
Use this as a draw card,
True.
right, for smoothing out. I wouldn't want to wreck these, though. This
Yeah,
is a
because once you
precision
wreck it-
tool, right?
If you wreck it, just
Difficult to sharpen. You could possibly sharpen that. You can't sharpen
You
those.
cannot, yeah. That would be very difficult. Maybe with the wazoo rounded stone
Maybe.
on the Viking
Might be able to sneak it in there.
whetstone,
I wouldn't take nail clippers
Viking spark.
over the scissors. I'd take the scissors.
Take the scissors, so we could add something back in,
We could put wet wipes back in,
or the comb back in.
or the comb. I wouldn't take the comb either. That's
well.
just
How
me.
about forget all that?
Just a way to carry it.
The
That
container itself.
Yeah, that's pretty valuable actually. To keep all your knickknacks from
So
tossing
1,
around.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
in a bag.
in the bag. Bag to go with it.
Gotta have a bag. To
All
put
right,
your stuff
obviously, just like our country, we all cannot come to the same consensus on anything. We are divided. But what we want to know is what your opinion is. What do you think are the 10 most undervalued hygiene items for the apocalypse? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And until next time, keep fueling those fires.
I don't have tattoos on my
It's not
fingers,
cool enough.
I don't either.
so
See ya!
Nailed it.
Become a Survival Dispatch Insider. We bring together survival enthusiasts and preppers to share knowledge and skills, which means you can enhance your preparedness for emergencies and ensure the safety of your community. The results you'll get improve your emergency preparedness by learning skills and strategies from experienced preppers. Build lasting connections with like-minded individuals to share your passion for safety and readiness. Access a wealth of knowledge and resources to assist you in protecting you and your community in certain situations. Go to survivaldispatch.com to get started.